Hi, this is Flash MP. This video covers how the Home Office employed an advertising firm to promote the use of PCSOs. There's a lot of advertising jargon in this clip. Don't worry if you don't understand it. I don't understand it either. And I'll explain my views on this after you've seen the clip.
The biggest challenge was actually people's understanding of the role of a community support officer, and people didn't really understand what they did and thought they were kind of second-class citizens really to regular police officers. A lot of people had that perception without actually meeting a community support officer, so because we hadn't recruited the number that we needed to, their experience of them was based on kind of what they were reading rather than what they were experiencing. The brief to Manning and Gottlieb was twofold. One was to increase understanding of the role of a community support officer, and the second was to make sure that we actually recruited the right people into the role.
Through a bespoke questionnaire canvassing the attitudes and opinions of 1,000 people, we identified that poor awareness and understanding of the PCSO role were not actually the barriers to success. When we measured value, we found that this seemed to be the biggest obstacle to achieving our objectives. Whereas 90% of people thought that the role of a regular police officer was very important, the comparative figure for PCSOs was only 23%. It became clear that by fixing value, we could fix the long-term problem and not have to be faced with the same issues to overcome at the start of every recruitment campaign. So the question was, how could we improve value? Research proved that when the public came into contact with PCSOs, it created a positive impression. However, only 10% of the public had met one. Our solution, therefore, was to use communication to recreate this direct contact that would then go on to increase value. We would create virtual experiences that bring PCSOs and the community together.
At the heart of the plan was the creation of an ad-funded television programme following real-life PCSOs as they interacted with members of the public and the regular police force. The first of 6 episodes of Beat Life on the Street aired on ITV1 on Sunday, 29th October at 6 p.m. It was the first ever peak time AFP and was watched by an average of 2.8 million per episode. The programme gave us valuable, leverageable content. To humanise the PCSOs, we brought the stars of the show to life through PR coverage and TV listing titles in local newspapers. Local radio DJs went out onto the beat with the PCSOs, and the stars took part in live web chats on ITV.com after the shows. DVDs of the shows have been created for potential recruits, and the Home Office are currently investigating streaming it on their recruitment site. Advertising in national newspapers and social issue TV programming accelerated the contact to the 90% who hadn't previously had contact with a PCSO. FeatureLink took PCSO experiences into local communities, and Outdoor was used in areas where recruitment needs were highest.
Public value of PCSOs soared from an average of 28% before the campaign to 49% after the advertising to an enormous 62% amongst the people that had watched Beat. Likelihood to get information about becoming a PCSO increased from 8% amongst non-viewers to a staggering 30% amongst people that had watched the programme. Beat became the UK's biggest ever ad-funded programme with a cumulative reach of over 14 million people across the 6 episodes. In total, Beat delivered 30 ratings as 25-minute programmes for the equivalent cost of buying 100 ratings as 30-second spots. Using Nielsen methodology for putting value on ad-funded programmes, this equates to a media value of over £7 million, equivalent to £18 of return of every pound we spent on production. And even more value will come when the series is repeated on ITV1 this autumn.
I think for me the biggest sign of success is that ITV have actually commissioned a second series of the programme. I think one of the key challenges we have is, are we using taxpayers' money effectively? We're absolutely sure that we did on this one. The return on investment was excellent, the media value that we generated was great. And
Okay then, well there you go. That was the case study of the Manning and Gottlieb campaign to promote the use of PCSOs. And just in case you didn't get what was going on there, what was being explained was that the Home Office basically commissioned the advertising firm, Manning and Gottlieb, whose clients include the Virgin Group, Foot Locker, Alton Towers, Sony, and many other prominent companies to basically manipulate people's opinions into supporting the Home Office's new policy for the use of PCSOs and subsequently obviously safer neighbourhood teams, which included PCSOs. So basically what the Home Office did was buy off public opinion. Now, two of the things that were mentioned in those two videos, those two clips, were that Manning and Gottlieb purchased or commissioned a 6-part series with ITV to promote positive virtual experiences between the viewer, i.e. the public, and PCSOs. So this 6-part series of hour-long programs were essentially 6 hour-long adverts for PCSOs and the policy of using PCSOs. Now, one of the things that we can say for sure is that if a series is funded by an advertising firm, it's not going to criticise its product, the product in this case being PCSOs. Now, this poses two questions. The first being, is it appropriate for ITV to broadcast programs that are funded by advertisers and are hence going to be completely biased? And the second question is, why is the Home Office trying to create an environment where there is no critical element, there is no critical thinking surrounding PCSOs and the use of PCSOs? Now I'm going to let you guys work that out for yourselves, and what I'm going to focus on instead is the use of positive virtual experiences to influence people's opinions on policing in the UK. Now, one of the things I've covered in my videos previously, particularly in my video Police Idolisation, is that TV is being used through cop shows of all different types to create positive virtual experiences between the police and the viewing public. However, in this case with the PCSOs, it was a very specific product they were trying to sell. So in shows like Traffic Cops, Road Wars, Police Interceptors, what are they trying to sell? Well, these shows are particularly well crafted. The BBC tend to go for the more middle class angle. Sky tends to go for the more working class angle, so there's Channel 5 with its Police Interceptors. So what is the product in shows like Traffic Cops and Road Wars? Well, the product is policing policy. So rather than these shows being used to try and recruit new police officers, they are being used to promote police actions and the way the police act in the new modern age. So in other words, they're trying to promote the use of automatic number plate recognition, CCTV, armed police, all sorts of things, anti-drug policy, you name it, basically anything you see. And of course they mix it in with the odd case of an armed robber or a burglar, an actual real criminal, rather than someone who just hasn't paid their insurance or has dropped litter or is swearing. Something that people don't like, yes, but it's not the same as an actual aggravated violent crime. And this really shows that the modern form of British policing is not going to be just chasing burglars, just chasing armed robbers. It's going to be fining you because you've sworn in a public place, or you've dropped litter, or just minor things. Now, although these behaviours might be undesirable, what you get if you start policing these things is social policing. It's control freak, opinion control, thought policing, political correctness, all these sorts of things, and it's perhaps not the right road to go down. Now, I want to get something straight. I'm not on the side of violent criminals. I think they should be in prison. But I think it's a bit ridiculous that the police jump up and down when they find a small-time drug user rather than finding a burglar or an armed robber, and the amount of time they put into trying to catch small-time drug users is a bit ridiculous. I'm in favour of good, logical policing and good, logical attitudes towards law and order. And just to sum up, the modern PR industry sprung out of propaganda. And if you want to research that, you can watch The Century of the Self. You find out a lot about propaganda and advertising. So essentially, this is propaganda. This is not advertising. This is propaganda. That the two are one and the same. We also need to be careful about shows like Spooks, Ultimate Force. These are creating fantasy virtual experiences that are very attractive to certain types of people. If you like this video, please check out my video Police Idolisation. It's very not very similar. It's actually a little bit better, and it pertains to much the same sort of thing. Quite enlightening. I think it's quite good, quite accurate. There's a lot of links there too. I'm going to upload links with this video, particularly about the TV series Spooks and how that's affected opinion on the security services. I'm going to upload other links as well, so check out the description. There's going to be good stuff there. Please rate, please share, and hope you enjoyed that, guys, and hopefully catch you next time.